they're wasting their spells on you.
Exactly.
There you go.
What's up?
It. And then, okay. We saw yesterday how a Invoker pick, if under pressure, doesn't really provide much to the game. But this time, I think they are covered because their side lanes are so strong. If the Invoker does have a bad matchup, he's still going to do pretty well.
And look, 4 bad matchups pretty much banned out. And also, with the AM ban, the Deuce gone, no Slark, there really weren't many options in terms of mana burn and counter initiation. And that Tornado EMP against heroes like Wraith King and Timbersaw, that's kind of what you throw them up there, you basically ignore them, and then you go kill the supports. In addition, it gives their team fight that extra touch.
Of course, it's Ember Spirit.
It was the only spirit left in for Gwynblight, really.
As Carl was talking, I was running through the bands like Spirit, Spirit, Spirit. Ember. Okay.
Yeah, Ember still there. Yep.
And yeah, interesting enough, because of course, Ember Spirit into Invoker, he can always Tornado your Flame Guard, so you might have to go for just a slight chains build. But yeah, it's Empire going for complete comfort and aggression. I just really want to emphasize it's about the laning setup. Timber is into the Ench Ursa lane. He doesn't have a game. Wraith King needs to farm. Ember doesn't feel that great into Invoker with course Wex. So all about laning setups right now for Empire.
All right, final thoughts on the draft, Purge?
I kind of like the Ember Spirit. It's going to be able to help keep some distance between the NoTechies lineup and their supports. It's going to make Timbersaw doing damage combos a lot easier. So I think it fits into their draft pretty well, but I think I like the NoTechies draft better. I think Invoker is really solid this game. EMP will be excellent, and the support duo should be strong enough too.
All right, thank you very much.
I agree with this point, but I think that Malik is on Mars. I think NoTechies, specifically Solo, recognize that he's just looked real underwhelming on these off-brand heroes. Mars is his bread and butter. I think that that's going to give a big edge. Their lanes are solid, and I'm a big believer in Invoker.
So you're also you're also going for the same team that Purge is going for. Also going for.
That's what he said?
Yes.
Yeah. He said.
Great. Attention paying. Maybe another coffee in a second. How about you?
No, I like the aggression that NoTechies have drafted themselves. I think that they haven't really answered the weaknesses of what the NoTechies draft have in regards to Empire. But I think, yeah, if Empire they don't have a good start, like check 1-2, then they're going to have a lot of issues. I have no idea if stream can hear that, but yeah.
I probably can. If we can hear it in our earphones, I think stream can hear it. Okay. It's not capped. No, it's not capped. I would imagine it's either Purge or Frog. Maybe he's picking up his microphone at the moment. Because, yeah. What's there?
No, I just think, simply put, ease of execution, NoTechies, stronger lanes can really snowball the game, and Empire just need a lot of space on the map to be able to eventually kite out.
It's probably Frog. It's a long commute for him. It takes a little time to get ready.
All right, guys. It's time for the first game of the day, so settle back and get ready. Here's a Cap and Fog with Empire and NoTechies.
That's right, Fog. We got the matchup between the two teams that are bottom on the list. Now, they both have a win. It just so happens that they both managed to take down Team Spirit, but they are certainly both looking at elimination here. And it looks like Empire is going to be looking at losing a hero just to start things off. Seiyu's going to be run down. He's got a little bit too close to the high ground. And with his boots, he's hoping maybe he can get away. All right, never mind.
Okay, he's gonna scurry away.
Yeah. I can't believe
I'm sure he was dead.
I was so certain he was dead. He was surrounded by like 4 heroes. How did he just walk away? Wow.
I have no idea. Man, I'm really looking forward to this because I honestly just want to watch NoTechies get to play Dota today. Because last time I casted them, they lost in 6 minutes to a jungle Huskar. So I just want to see some better stuff out of them because I know they're better than that. And I'm always looking forward to watching Invokers, especially when Urgon's playing it. He had a rough time on it the last time. Looking forward to see if he can hopefully make it work. And we're watching, just the lane swappings at the moment, as Panel touched on. Ursa chasing versus that Timber. Timber also trying to avoid Enchantress. So we get all these fun little swaps. It seems like NoTechies will get what they want, but I don't know if Timbers are ever upset when they're in the safe lane versus.
Yeah, it definitely feels like NoTechies have given themselves a lot of comfort picks. Malik on the Mars. Urgon, I know before this tournament, his Invoker and his Tiny. Those are like the 2 standout mids that he played. Fortunately, he hasn't had as good a time in this tournament. The Invoker, but maybe he'll get back into the tier against definitely a weaker opponent than, say, somebody like Virtus Pro.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a bit of a volatile matchup. It can go both ways. Invoker actually does just fine in this one for the most part. And Gwyn has gone for the Flame Guard build. So that is where it hurts you even more when you do go for this versus Tornado, because you can just dispel it off. I've seen a lot of times they just go slight chains and you try to gank the crosswinds, but that won't be the case. probably feels like his supports are locked in lane for some time anyway, since it is an aggro tri-lane. So he's just going to go for the farm build on that Ember.
Yeah, why do you think they went for this aggro tri-lane? Just setting up the Timbersaw for success?
Yeah, I think that's the best thing. 'Cause if Timbersaw is in the off lane versus Ursa, it's very different than he's in the safe lane. Safe lane, he actually still gets some stuff. We saw the same thing yesterday. And I think teams are starting to become more welcome to aggro tri-lanes. You know, Secret, the big team that's been really dictating the aggro tri-lane scene, and now it's starting to be seen. I've seen it, what, like 3, 4, maybe 5 times in the last 2 days. So.
Yeah, it says something when the best team in Europe and the best team in, well, actually, second best team in NA, Evil Geniuses, a lot of aggro tri-lanes as well, but they recently lost to Quincy Crew. So, but yes, it feels like people are more and more open to this. So why do you think aggro tri-lanes are becoming more of a thing?
Just because like you're bound to get counterpicked in a lot of these drafts. Like you get this like Ursa versus Timber, or let's say like Tidehunter versus like Wraith King. Let's say like sometimes people just want to be able to dodge these matchups, and also just to get your safe laner thing. And also maybe they see something weak. You know, Enchantress Rubik is always a weak laner. Enchantress sure is amazing, but Rubik is pretty easy to punish. So that's probably why we see it coming out. As Seiyu taking decent damage versus Malik.
Yeah, Seiyu is, he really likes to man up on these, and he might actually be right about it, man. What a read that he was going to be able to stand toe-to-toe. Now, it looks like he may still be dying here as Zion's in solo are both trying to run him down, but still, Malik was forced away, and Seiyu is able to get out. The Fairy Fire still in his back pocket, and a healing salve applied to him by Heck.
Okay, so it's, you know, NoTechies are the ones who switched up the lanes to get the Ursa in this matchup. This is not working. Mars is at least going to get a kill, but he's got 3 last hits. So they really needed to get that kill down here.
Yeah, certainly. Especially since Solo hasn't been able to have the same kind of impact with an Enchantress that he would normally like to.
Yeah, at least he's got the big creep. Best creep we can get here. That's Satyr Tormentor with the Mars. He'll be able to force the lane out. But Smiling Knight, yeah, he's 17-11. He's having a really solid free farm. And we're seeing Gwyn, he's also having really solid free farm without even having to go to the jungle just yet. So he's doing very well in that matchup for Zergon.
Yeah, that top lane we can see that Petchishar is doing totally fine. I think this matchup is not as bad as maybe it used to be in the past. Especially in a one-on-one, just because I've seen these Timbersaws just like be timber chaining constantly, just kind of like duking down the wave, and Ursa kind of has a hard time dealing with that.
I saw a lot of them starting with like getting the Orb of Venom early too. Petu went for Swollen. I see he has the Orb of Venom queued, but maybe it's a little too late because you want to be applying that pressure right now, like pre-level 2, pre-level 3, pre-level 4, and just be able to hit back on the Ursa. So might be getting it too late, but he's still doing just fine, and you're happy whenever you have Timber able to farm in a game, in the early game especially versus.
Yeah. I guess a big question is, what are they going to do once they feel like the laning phase is kind of broken down? Like, who's going to end up going where? Where do we plant our Timbersaw to feel strong? Are we able to have Smiling Knight occupy a lane, or is he just going to be jungling from here on out? It's definitely some setups that I think Empire have to think a bit about.
Looks solid for them though. This start, this aggro tri lane, the supports, you know, Seiyu's level 1, but Smiling Knight is having that good start. Now the battle bottom, Enchantress.
Toss back into the spear against the cliff wall, but Seiyu's gonna pop that Fairy Fire that he had. A healing salve goes on. Solo, oh, he gets a long range impetus shot that barely gets the kill.
And a quick D-ward immediately after that one goes out. They know that the vision was there. But I'm just surprised at how long he's able to survive in all these situations. Level 1 at 5.5 minutes on Seiyu.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Manning up, see if he can kill the Harpy. The Harpy, he does get the kill. At the same time, he dies to Solo. So, not sure if that one was real.
That's huge. I didn't expect this to actually get salvaged down bottom. I thought they were just really going to start getting out of control here versus this aggro tri-lane. But with Enchantress getting those creeps, you know, that usually ends up changing these lanes. Still 18 last hits on the Mars, but getting themselves a couple kills. Solid.
I'm betwixt myself.
All right, well, we start getting some of our level 6s, so this is about the time where maybe Ember Spirit can rotate, see if he can help out that bottom lane, perhaps. I'm not really sure if they want to try and kill an Ursa at top lane, but I just don't think Gwynblight really wants to be in this lane too much longer, right? This looks like a pain to deal with.
Yeah, he can just get counter ganked too easily though. I'm looking at these heroes bottom. CM and Shadow Shaman so slow and fragile versus an Invoker rotation like Urgon. I feel like if he just makes the move bottom, he can just easily get a double or triple kill. Once Malik is healed up, and I feel like he should go to that lane. Since Malik is still having trouble, I want to see Urgon actually get that move going because he has an urn, so you don't want to just sit in the 1v1 in mid. You want to get your progress going, get your stacks, get your urn charges, and get your progression toward your vessel since you are playing versus Timbersaw.
Yeah, somebody's got to stop this top lane push because Timbersaw, he does have the Siege Wagon push that is coming up right now. Tries to finish off solo, misses out. Now he's going to bounce back. Instead of going up the hill, he goes right into Urgon. They actually have the damage to kill him, though. Timber Chain a little bit farther. Somehow the Tornado did not hit him there. He's going to get one more Timber Chain away, and he's out. He's good.
Oh, failed rotation though by Urgon, which now gives Gwyn time to farm, and then bottom is able to play aggressive as well. And Malik is jungling at the moment on the Mars, so I don't really like that rotation too much. It's a tough kill to get. Even if the Tornado lands, it might not get the kill. This feels like it was just like him reacting rather than making his own move, as they'll lose Zaya at bottom.
Yeah, Zion's the only one occupying this bottom lane. Eknart kind of casually cuts in from the side. And it looks like our Wraith King is going to start focusing a little bit more on jungling now that he's level 5. He's got the 2 levels with the skeletons and that higher level crit well.
It's a little bit slower now, of course, from the nerfs that have come to Wraith King in these times, but he'll be able to get that farm going anyway. And now they're giving supports levels. I want to see punish. You know, NoTechies punish these two. Do not let supports just show themselves in the offlane. There's a 330 move speed Shadow Shaman. Kill this man right now.
Absolutely. The snare's going to come out, the spear follow up, and yeah, Zayu is not long for this world, and Eknart is going to be forced away from the experience range as well. So does mean that our solo heroes are still kind of happy, as you can see that Timbersaw still pressuring that offlane tower.
I think they just got to accept that. Even though they have an Ursa in their team, it's just a hard kill even early on. Unless you rotate literally everyone or bring the Mars, it's just tough. And then you might even just lose the Mars with the rotation. So I think just give this away.
Where do you go as Petrichar after this? Do you try and take mid tower or the safe lane tower that's still up?
Get you way down bottom. Play with those supports. You see strength hero, you run his strength hero.
Okay. Well, let's see if he does that or if he wants to farm up just a little bit more, as I know he's working on that Hood of Defiance.
Yeah, he might just finish that. Maybe he does just naturally rotate toward mid, clear up these neutral camps, push the Ursa out. But I'd like to see him pressure for this bottom tower, because I'm just looking at these two supports down here on Empire, and I'm like, yo, these guys should not be able to do this. The CM and the Shadow Shaman, like, these guys should be getting punished a little bit more by NoTechies, so what the rotation is going to be.
Oh, Petrichar, I may have slightly miscalculated on that neutral creep. Timber chains away, realizes his error, throws out a chakra, misclicks, pulls it back right away, you know.
The best.
Yeah, well.
He's focused on finishing that Hood, not on actually killing the creeps. It's like, I need the gold, but
watch that one again, I guess. Petrichar is like, surely this will kill it. No, oh god.
Oh god, whoa.
He just dropped all his spaghetti all at once. Inside of the enemy jungle, though, NoTechies going to start getting aggressive here for the bounty runes. Throw up Windblight to make sure they can grab that bounty away from him after killing Eknart, the support. So they do manage to get 3 as a result, because their Timbersaw was playing a little back. He didn't choose to invade like Malik did.
Yeah, nice play from Urgon. I want him to be playing mostly around that bottom side. Top tower is already dead anyway. You're going to have access into that triangle, so just keep going down there, keep getting your urn charges. He actually almost has the vessel done. That's going to be really solid versus Timbersaw this early on.
Yeah, that is very early vessel. Speaking of which, Petrichar does finally rotate down here. I was okay with him staying up in the top lane if he was actually pushing the Ursa away from the Ancient, but he didn't really seem to be doing that. So I'm glad he's now finally occupying the bottom.
Yeah, he should be able to push this pretty freely. I don't see a way for them to actually kill him. Maybe when that Spirit Vessel is done, as it's about to be, then we could see Urgon perhaps look to make a rotation down bottom. They're going to commit the wards, though. This looks like a pretty tough tower to defend. Zayas did not have Spell Steal available. He has the Timber Chain. He should be able to escape, but he won't be able to steal wards.
Well, it's going to be Petchishara following him every step of the way, but no, the toss back. He's just enough distance and still want to be able to protect that siege wagon. Here comes Zircon, though. He's going to show over the Spirit Vessel. They're going to push back Petchishara, stopping him from being able to get the chain away. And yes, the Timber Saw dies on the Spirit Vessel pickups. Well played by NoTechies.
And he gets to clean up some of these nice wards too. Gets 1, 2, and he'll get the 3 and 4. So a nice chunk of gold for Ergon. As they also send Crystallized mid to soak the experience from the Invoker rotation. So yeah, great stuff from NoTechies. And Empire, I feel like they're gonna have to thwart this early game for a bit of time and just they're gonna have to just somehow get Smiling Knight online and just have to endure the pressure that's gonna start coming. Because this Spirit Vessel Invoker, Ergon can make moves on almost anybody. They're very susceptible to this now.
Yeah, there's not the same kind of counter rotation for Empire, right? It's like this Invoker shows up to lane. Like, what are you really gonna do? Your best hope is Seiyu is somehow not spotted and gets a good disable off on him.
It's so scary for these two supports to play it versus a Quaswex Invoker at this point. It's like this 400 something plus movement speed hero running at you, and you're 330 crawling heroes that will just literally do nothing if you get hit by EMP. Your whole mana pool will be gone at this point on every single one of the Empire heroes. So they have to play around that, and it looks like it's really just gonna have to be a farm game for them to catch back up to these times. Which they got good heroes for it, but you definitely feel a little bit worried when you see a Timbersaw just hitting Ancients.
Yeah, when he's not available to exert his pressure out on the map to be able to create some space to, you know, put some pressure on a tier 2 tower, force an awkward rotation, nothing like that. And so it frees up NoTechies to make moves like this.
Exactly. Yeah. As they charge right in, they'll find Eknar. Maybe some return kills if Empire's in the area, since Wind is coming over.
Smiling Knight, he's going to go right back in with Windblood coming in on the other side with his double damage. And you're right, they are going to trade out some ports here. Perhaps maybe more. Solo?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Not able to get that kill. So trading support for support on a smoke rotation. Empire's not going to be too sad about that.
Nope. As they have Smiling Knight just sitting back, you know, he's any time where they're just chilling back farming, and if it's not NoTechies forcing the issue too, you know, they're getting away with what they want in their draft. They want this Radiance, they want to take it to the late game. They love playing with this Smiling Knight Wraith King. Even if he is playing into the hands of the Ursa, who has Battle Fury, they're probably still content with the way the pace of the game is going.
How well toe-to-toe does Battle Fury Ursa stack up to Wraith King?
Lately especially, I feel like Wraith King's nerfs have put him quite below Ursa in the later stages of the game. Ursa just feels like he's insane. When he gets these type of timings, he's just going to accelerate. He's going to accelerate faster, and he's actually just going to eat the rest of the team, while I feel like Wraith King has a harder time actually just eating other heroes. Ursa just, he doesn't have a solution. You know, CM, Shadow Shaman, even Timber Chains, I feel like he might just be able to run right through all these and just kill these targets quite easily. If he gets away with this, like, he's going to get these items really quick.
So what I'm hearing out of this is once we have the Radiance up on Smiling Knight, we got to get a lot done.
Yeah, I want them to fight. I want them to push buildings with Shaman Wards, maybe even force like a Roshan fight, something like that. Start making it NoTechies get out of position. Because if they just start getting ran at, this is where Mars, this is where Invoker just start to thrive. And they'll be able to take over the map very quickly. And then Wraith King has nowhere to farm.
You know, I'm not in love with the fact that Petchishara, and maybe it goes to show the strength of the Invoker. Petchishara just had to defend the top lane tower and TP mid to defend that tower. Like, the rest of his team isn't doing it. So he's got to. Windblight, nicely done. Does manage to get up the Sleight of Fist before the spear coming out from Malik. A little bit off the mark there, and now they're easily going to get caught and sandwiched upon. Missed execution there from Malik, and he knows it too. Sorry, he says.
Downtime where Smiling Knight is a very happy man. And they're even setting up Seiyu up top to look for that defense. As you were mentioning, Petu can't be everywhere. He's actually just going to farm bottom. Will they split the resources a bit? Nice hit back. Mars ult wasted. Maelstrom online for Ember. You're feeling good.
Well, now as a result of missing out on that Ember Spirit kill, completed Maelstrom picked up mid-fight for Windblood.
Malik can't miss those ults. But that's where NoTechies just can really fall behind heavily if they just start, you know, whiffing their big actual team fight ability to be able to force and apply pressure. That's, yeah, Wraith King just gets the shield back, and that's pretty much going to be the Radiance done. Crystallize is keeping up, of course, on that Ursa. But I see he does have BKB queued. Wondering if he does commit for that. Just look for the team fights rather than going for these pickoffs with Blink Dagger and with Yules on Mars. I thought they'd be looking for a little bit more plays on Malik. 2-1-3, but it still feels like a quiet game for that start that he had.
Baits in Gwynblight, takes the illusion right from underneath his nose, but they don't really have any disables to actually keep him in place. So he is able to get out pretty.
Malik,
TP
they
top.
see him.
Oh, Malik, he is so far forwards here, and a simple Shadow Shaman is very easily able to set up for that kill. Not sure if Serpent Wards was even needed, but does get a fast execution. Eknard is going to be caught in the mid lane meanwhile, and Petrishar may be in trouble here. Fortunately, no stuns to stop that Timber Chain away, as this Ursa, very powerful, and he's got to watch out for that Chakram steal of a Rubik as well.
Yeah, that's one of the better steals that Zayas can get in this game. Actual ways to burst down the Timber even more so.
You know, I got to talk about this, Fogged. I feel like I can't ignore it too much, but, you know, Malik, we've been talking a lot about NoTechies and, like, why this team isn't succeeding, and I feel like we've kind of settled on a narrative that they're 2 and 3 position, not really stepping up when needed. Yep. This game, Malik is really suffering.
Yeah, he just sat back and he farmed his Yules, and then now his first showing was him moving alone top. Like, not even with a support hero to try to set up for a kill or anything like that. They have 3 points in Exort, so you need more. You need something else to be playing around Malik, so, you know, it's definitely a concern if they aren't playing any supports around their actual big team fighter. He's the one that they have to be rallied around behind Urgon, but yeah, definitely concerning.
Well, we'll see if he can pick up the pace a little bit more here, as the game is still obviously quite fine with this Ursa getting all the free farm he could ever want. Seriously, this game has just been kind of a farm fest, back and forth, both teams going to their own corners, pretty content with what they're getting here. They are going to try and set up again with the Shadow Shaman. This time around, Malik is the one to find the initiation.
I like this time it's perfect. You know, he has a core showing in lane in front of him. He has his most important core in front of him, and he's playing behind. So Eknard in the same exact place will die to the same exact impetus. Look, we just saw a replay.
Yeah, a little bit of deja vu there. It's that same ward across the river spotted him and let Urgon find an easy opening here. And they're just kind of poking away at this top tower while they took the top tower, and now they're poking away at this mid tower as well.
Have you been looking at solo this game, by the way? He's going like carry Enchantress. There's Urgon, he's gonna get hexed up. They've got the control.
Overstepping their bounds will be a little bit too much. Zayas, he's going to get caught up by Petrisharo. Nice read there and make that long-range zip. And now they're going to take the mid-tower with Smiling Knight. He's ready to go. He's got his Radiance, plenty of Skeletons on out. So this is a good time for Empire to put some pressure down.
Yeah, time to actually play his time, rather than just playing the farm game and getting that timing for your Radiance. Now you can actually look to fight every single time into NoTechies. Even though it's Ursa, as we've said, massive, about to have BKB done. They've got vision of him. And they do have that Aether Lens on Seiyu, that long-range cast for Hex and Shackle.
Crystallized on the run here. Successful scan, was able to see that movement coming. So good read by Crystallized to TP out there.
Oh, get a slight heart attack there. The Hex was almost in range.
Yeah. Another about 100 distance in just the vision. They caught him, and that would have been a massive kill. As Smiling Knight's working towards an earlier BKB to try and deal with this Quaswex Invoker.
I like it. After yesterday seeing a Wraith King go greedy and not getting BKB and costing them maybe potentially the game, I think you have to get that item, especially versus Invoker as always.
Speaking of greedy, you mentioned Solo's carry type item here, and he's getting a little greedy, trying to take the enemy bounty runes, and very likely to be punished for it, as he is very, very tanky, no doubt. But they've got infinite space to be able to run him down. Eventually, Gwynblight gets that kill with Dominating Streak. Now Seiyu finds an opening onto the Rubik, which is very nice and easy. Catching NoTechies while they're trying to Roche. A good sign for Empire.
Man, Pentu just stole the kill from Seiyu. That was your kill, and Pentu just came and stole it. I didn't like that.
Very
beautiful ward trap, and he just literally walks over, waits for the last hit, and Warling dies. He didn't even hit him once before that. Come on, man.
Yeah, it's not like a Blink Dagger would be that bad. An early Blink Dagger on a Shadow Shaman with the Aether Lens could do a lot when it comes to kiting around this Ursa, or maybe catching the Invoker at appropriate times. So, yeah,
I'd agree. I actually would prefer to have the Shadow Shaman get the farm at this point. Your Timber has already got what he needs. He's got his Lotus Orb. Like, that's the most important thing he needs this game to get rid of that Spirit Vessel and whatnot. Shadow Shaman's game is quite important. If he's able to just get these Blink Hexes, he can stop the Mars combo. He can stop the Invoker and everything too. They can just break the team fights if they do get that. NoTechies using this Roche with that BKB uncrystallized, trying to force the fight around here with Malik in position. Is Empire going to go back into this one? It doesn't look like this time.
I cannot believe Fucked. I mean, we're talking about like them picking up their Radiance, start getting aggressive. They did that a little bit with taking that mid tower, but I feel like that was more taking advantage of an opportunity that presented itself. I'm so surprised that after missing a Roshan attempt earlier, they just let NoTechies take that Roshan for free.
I think they were going for their item timings. Double BKBs just got delivered. So I think they didn't want to fight before them. That Wraith King and Ember both got them finished. But now, yeah, you got to play into Aegis.
See if they are able to do that. They're able to push back NoTechies at least, and NoTechies immediately going to go for the release smoke here. Thanks to the heal from the Enchantress, they're decently healthy. They're going to go ahead and invade the triangle, see if they can get on the high ground here and work their way into that mid tower a second time. They're going to lead off on a Seiyu here, running into him. Seiyu is very easily going to go down here. There's still Hex for the Rubik as well. Pejishar.
Big one.
Spirit Vessel poking at him. Crystallized. Whipping himself has been given the alacrity. They're going to finish off this mid tower. Nice and quick. The BKB going down from Gwynblight, protecting him against the spear. He is charging into that back line. He really wants to kill Malik, it seems, but he definitely doesn't have the damage to kill somebody like that. Solo on the other side of things. He, again, will survive for a while, but eventually he will die as he's got nowhere to run to or nowhere to hide.
Still really solid for NoTechies. Double BKB usage, a buyback from Seiyu. That's going to slow down that blink significantly, and they still get the tower anyway. So that's really nice stuff for them as they can back up, finish up these next few items, and they'll be safe to do it too. Sure, they used Crystallize as BKB, but that's quite all right as he's able to back up farm, and he's going to bash her at a pretty good time. So his game is still looking solid. It's still very, very even on both sides. Even Dota Plus is pretty much 50-50 on this one.
Yeah, I guess, like, maybe if it wasn't for the fact that the Ember Spirit is so farmed, you know, because at that point, Invoker's eventually going to start dropping off a tad bit, right? While this Ember Spirit can continue to be a serious presence. If it was just a Wraith King versus Ursa, then maybe it would be decided that win probability.
Yeah. Ergun is... It's a weird, like, Invoker's just, it's a tough hero to make work. It's volatile. Either you're gonna hit big or you're not, you know. If he's going for the Cataclysm build too with Mars, so there's chances for these big plays, but yeah, I mean, Wraith King, Ember, that core is gonna get pretty scary. Ursa can solo carry this game with all the buffs and everything and with the backup of his team, but definitely have to feel like Empire still has windows in this game.
Yeah,
they're really farmed on all three cores.
They get to a point where they've got BKB on the Ursa with an Abyssal Blade, and he's given alacrity. You know, like, he's just going to get on top of somebody with the Abyssal Blade and just 100-0 them so fast.
Yeah, they're gonna have to do some special stuff about protecting people, because they don't have great ways to protect each other. Like, the supports, I see, of course, you know, Shadow Shaman, he never wants to build toward those glimmers. He's more about his own selfish game. CM on her way toward Glimmer, but still a ways away. Yeah, that Ursa is definitely going to be pretty threatening once he starts getting all those items on them.
Well, one option here is Timbersaw is going to go back for Yule's Scepter. So that'll be one way to try and kite the Ursa a little bit more. I was wondering, do you like that? Yule's over maybe, say, like Heaven's Halberd, kind of doing this similar thing?
At least it gives him a secondary dispel too. Like, if Lotus is a teammate, he can save it, you know, dispel for himself and stuff too. And it's amazing. It's the best item in the game versus Ursa, so
bottom tower is under attack.
Whatever.
Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense with the invoke.
Are scanning.
Yeah.
Smiling Knight closing in on level 18, so he'll have that reincarnation up near constantly. Only used one BKB charge so far. Towards that AC next. So again, seems like both teams are pretty content with the way this game is going. Both team confident in their abilities to win the late game. Who actually proves to be correct here as the rotation up to top lane. Looks like they're going to give a poke at this tier 2 tower, but Seiyu in a very good position to potentially catch somebody if his team moves to defend.
Are fortified.
Malik lead off. He's going to be hexed. He's stun. Woo! Pechushara with some big boy damage comes rolling through, and he's going to keep on rolling. See if he can catch Zayas here. Zayas is going to receive a helping hand. So Urgon and Solo. Maybe it's going to be Pechushara stepping a little bit too far away as Crystallize comes forward. Yeah, that was...
Alacrity 5 position Enchantress is going ham.
Yeah, he really is. He's pumping out the damage now onto Eknard as well. The Sunstrike right on point from Urgon as they collect a second kill there.
Look at the damage from Solo. Did 2,000 damage to the Timbers up there. The Alacrity Enchantress is working.
Yeah, and he's about to pick up the shard as well, so that'll be a big increase. But yeah, look at that pure damage go to work here as he's just boom, 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 boom.
Dire's top tower.
I really like the shard too on this hero. When you feel like you've got a game, you know, I don't mind these Enchantresses looking to take over and just be the right clicker themselves too. It is a good Alacrity target. The shard is fun. It just keeps you always top health and it makes it hard for them to ever go anywhere. You're at 5, so it makes them feel like they have to commit so much.
Yeah, for sure. No, I'm a big fan of it, especially when you go this medallion build. So you are so hard to bring down naturally if you've got...
Oh, mid.
Ooh, this is a big kill if he can get it. This time the spear is on point as they should be able to just chain stun Gwynblight up. A big kill. That's a dominating streak going over to Urgon. 542 gold for it, and that'll speed his way towards either the Aghanim Scepter or the BKB. We'll see which one he does pick up.
That's such a big kill. They still have Arena as well. So Malik, he can still look for another kill if he wants to. He can actually Arena kill us, like even the CM, I feel he could commit because they have a Sunstrike on top, but he'll hesitate, won't be able to find it. Eknard will be able to get the ward. Eknard didn't skill ulti this game either on the CM. Something I never see anymore. I always see them skill ult. He's almost level 12.
Yeah, that is a little odd. Pechushara not respecting the damage that comes out. There goes that freezing field. Malik is going to be able to get away thanks to his Arena. At the same time, Crystallize, he's going to be caught here. Hexed up. They have the Aegis for another 15 seconds, so they'll have to deal with the second life of the Ursa. Can they get the chain stunts? Can they get the immediate disables? No, Crystallize using that fresh blink dagger he picked up to immediately go over to the high ground, quickly killing the Crystal Maiden. Malik's going to be caught in the midst of the Serpent Wards again here. It's Pechushara, a beautiful chakram thanks to Gwynblight setting up the double stunt there. Solo gets wiped out. Now they're looking to be able to catch Crystallize as well, but Seiyu is, well, if he keeps hunting, if he's persistent about it, he may still find him. He's going to see these dead neutrals and go, guys, this Ursa is still somewhere around, unfortunately running the wrong direction here. So NoTechies, a bad team fight for them as they were finally starting to get aggressive.
Under attack. Radiant are
Two split up from the fight with like the Mars ult and everything, and then when they lose to Ursa, he's in a really tough position. He can go for the CM, but CM buys back. Shadow Shaman has Blink Dagger, so it can reset positioning, and his 2 supports get caught. As you mentioned, you know, Ember Spirit getting that slight chains on the 2 of them, they quickly bring them down, and he has to retreat. It's just 2 heroes versus the 5 at that point. Nice stuff from Empire. And we're starting to feel their power. You know, these 3 cores really farming. Malik starting to fall pretty far behind in this Mars. He has to keep finding those pickoffs though. If he's able to find Gwynblade like 1 or 2 more times in this game, the way he did in the mid lane, then they still got a pretty decent shot in it. But it's starting to get Empire favored in these next few moments as this Wraith King is starting to get out of control.
Watching that last team fight, do you have a preference here for the Invoker? Do you think he should go for the damage of the Aghanim Scepter or the BKB?
I don't think he can go BKB. I think he has to. I think they have to have more follow-up for Malik. It can't just be Crystallize, the one that's pumping up. You can't rely on Crystallize, and honestly, like Solo as well. As I'm seeing Solo doing much more in the fights actually than the Invoker lately. He has to get, yeah. He's pretty close. Actually, I think he has it. Yeah, he has it finished.
All right, so another big power spike for NoTechies side.
It's only 5 points in the Exort at the moment.
Cataclysm can still do the trick if they find the right disables. And that's all up to Malik and finding that initiation with his Blink Dagger.
Yeah, all up to Malik or all up to Zayats if he's able to find some type of spell steal. The lift, if he gets the lift off and they Cataclysm immediately as the lift goes off, they can get the connection too. Bit tough to execute.
Pistol Blade almost done for Crystallize. Hopefully that'll be a big pickup because the last problem in the last team fight was him being kited around a little bit too much.
How long in this rush? We'll find out in 20 seconds. NoTechies still looking to control this area with wards.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Keep
under
themselves on the
attack.
high ground. Same thing for Empire. Stay on their high ground side.
Radiant's
Destruction.
bottom
That'll help
tower
crystallize
has fallen.
quite a bit if he chooses to pick it up right now. He's got the Mind Breaker. Roshan is going to be coming up right now. Nobody has vision inside of the pit. Nobody put their courier up there. Smoke is going to break here onto the earth. It's going to go right through him. Petchishara is straight on in with Smiling Knight popping his BKB. Looking to be able to keep Crystallize down, but his rage is going to protect him. Now he's got his BKB. He's going for the Timber Saw right now. He blinks over to the other side, chooses to go for Eknard instead. Does manage to get a lucky pass. Here comes the Sunstrike. The Cataclysm, though, just doesn't do quite enough to get any of these kills, as ultimately Crystallize gets kited way too much. And oh yeah, I guess Untouchable does work on wards now. They made it since they put it into his ultimate.
Dire's top tower
Yeah, I was
is
wondering
under
why he
attack.
wouldn't die a little bit faster. And a huge fight. Malik, he gets the arena off. They all just pop BKB and walk right through it. And the way that it starts off is devastating for NoTech. He's Crystallized, caught on the low ground for a quick second, and they get these chain disables onto him. He's half HP before he gets enraged BKB off, and then he's frantic. He's frantic in the fight, unable to find a target. And Wraith King doesn't even end up losing his ult. That is a devastating hit for NoTechies. As Empire now full in force and reached Roshan in about 1:40 seconds. Now they have wards out. Now they have coverage in this area. The next fight is probably going to just dictate the entire game.
See, look, with his BKBs, the arena goes out, but he doesn't actually control anybody. Crystallize has a hard time putting damage on a piece. And he's going to go this Abyssal Blade, and that'll help him. But I just saw that Ember Spirit is picking up a Lincoln's. So he may not even be able to lock down this Ember Spirit. They may still remain so mobile that he can't actually kill the backline of heroes like he wants to.
He's got to find a way in there. Him and Urgon have to find avenues into the backline. I mean, Malik too. He's got the blink. He doesn't have BKB, so it's a little harder for him, but he has to get these arenas onto these squishy heroes. He can't let the supports just run rampant.
Oh,
has to find Shadow Shaman.
I mean, that was like a full shackle duration out onto the Ursa. So that is just not going to be acceptable if you hope to be able to win this game.
So all the cast range that really just starts to come together. It is hard to catch these Shadow Shamans. You know, Aether Lens, he's got the Psychic Headband, he's got the cast range talent. Like, look at the cast range on Shackleton Head. It is pretty ridiculous, but they have to find a way. They have to stop these two from controlling the Ursa so Crystallize can actually play his hero in the fights.
All right, well, yet another smoke from NoTechies.
If they find the back line.
This time they're the aggressors into the high ground. It's not going to break just yet on the low ground. It's going to break here. Smiling now. He's already bumped forward and immediately jumped onto Urgon. That is disastrous for NoTechies. They're going to continue to try and chase down this Shadow Shaman with their BKB. The spear goes out, but the Hex is already down. The Cataclysm will manage to take him out, but Crystallize, the damage has already kind of been done. He is low on health, no longer has his enrage. The Yule Scepter is going to stall him out until they can finally get the kill. Here comes a tornado, but it's a bit too late to save anybody. Solo's already been caught here, and she'll go down as well. NoTechies losing team fight after team fight, and now it is finally time to do that Roach.
They put the sentry, they put the obs on the high ground. The sentry's already there from Empire, and they see the perfect target. Urgon walks in. He's Ghost Walk through something, I believe he was at least. He just gets instantly jumped and gets exploded. Has to buy back, and he's too late to the fight. Malik, the ult again. Doesn't catch the two supports. It hits, well, actually maybe on the edges of it all, but it catches most of the BKB heroes. And they just reset Empire's run.
Oh, Malik. He does have a BKB, so he'll be fine here, but the fact he had to use it, probably a little disappointing to them. I think they're trying to make some sort of cute play where they steal the Aegis. And looks like actually that stall was just enough. They're going to look inside the Roshan pit, see that about half health, and Empire is already backed up. So still a chance to be able to get that for themselves with your back in 15 seconds.
I think Empire is showing, you know, this is just like a dominance move. They don't want to throw the game or don't give any advantage to NoTechies by any means by trying to force this Roach without their 5-man. Now the two supports respawning, now they're going to start committing in there.
All right, and this is going to be well timed as the Ursa may not even be able to get there in time. We'll see. The tornado is definitely going to stall them out. A little bit more. Solo. Intrepid Solo. Leading off, true to his name, all by himself, and is immediately going to be blown up, so that's a little awkward. Rayfire Blast, turn back around onto the Wraith King and jump forward from Crystallize. Going to go for the Timbersaw. Finally mount. Gets to go to Reno, but the BKB's going out still. The Cataclysm have already taken out the Crystal Main. The first life of the Wraith King is down as well. Timbersaw out on the side, kiting away Crystallize, but he's got to be careful of that Alacrity. Look at him being slowed down by the Flamethrower. The Enrage is no longer out. The Tornado cannot help him escape. Seiyu comes back with his second life to be able to catch Urgon, and GG goes out. They know they've got nothing left in the tank to challenge Empire. Both teams were willing to push it kind of late. We're willing to let these carries get their farm, get the completed set, and ultimately it was Team Empire who had a better read of the late game and how to make these team fights work.